This Avalanche Safety Report is brought to you by Mountain TV. Watch Mountain TV anywhere with our free Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV apps. Learn more at mtn-tv.com.
Hi, this is Brian Lazar with the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, just here with your weekly Avalanche Outlook. And let me start by just taking a quick look back at last week's Avalanche activity because it's a precursor of things to come. So you can see here, we had a storm that came through last weekend, and that led to an uptick in Avalanche activity, which has decreased but not completely disappeared as we move into the middle part and latter part of this work week. And that is because of the nature of these persistent weak layers we still have to worry about in our snowpack. The most dangerous aspects for avalanches continue to be these north through east through southeast facing slopes, which have really pronounced and worrisome weak layers and are also getting the most wind loading. We don't have the weak layers as pronounced on these southerly facing slopes, which offer some of our safest travel options. And then you can see things get a little bit more dangerous as you move around onto the westerlies. But again, these areas in the yellow are our most dangerous aspects. And what we're going to do now is add yet another load, which is great for our snowpack and conditions with the storm that rolled through on Wednesday night and into Thursday. And this particular storm is not only coming in with some snow, it's not a tremendous amount, but it is coming in with quite a bit of wind. And so what this video is showing is essentially the 300 millibar jet stream, or where planes might fly. But anytime we've got the jet stream over Colorado, which is indicated by these purple, red, and yellow colors, it means we've got really strong winds accompanying the new snowfall. And what that means when we look in the backcountry is we get really pronounced wind drifting. And this is going to load these leeward facing slopes. So you get quite a bit more load where all that drifted snow is landing, and it is testing again our weak layers of concern, which vary a bit depending on where you go in the state. One notable weak layer of concern, which has continued to plague us and been responsible for a lot of the recent avalanche activity, is this buried layer of surface ore anywhere from 1 to 3 feet deep, depending on where you're going. And these are these feathery crystals that you can see here on the right-hand side of the image, which are weak and fragile. And how they present themselves in the snowpack is this obvious, almost see-through gray line, which it just can't handle that much load. It's not deep enough to be kind of out of range for people to trigger. And we're still seeing avalanches break 1 to 3 feet deep. Even in places that don't have the surface ore, we've got other weak layers of concern, which include, buried near surface facet. And we've got crusts, especially on sunny slopes, which have weak layers both above and below the crust. So regardless of the weak layer we're dealing with, we're seeing avalanches continue to break 1 to 3 feet deep. And these are certainly large enough to bury or injure or kill a person. And we're just adding more load to that with our storm this mid to end part of the week. Here's what really unstable snow looks like. And here's a snowmobile near Wolf Creek Pass getting an avalanche to break around 1 feet deep on that layer of surface ore. And you can see when we get onto these wind drifted slopes, some of these avalanches are breaking quite wide, which is really indicative of the nature of the persistent weak layers we're dealing with. So we can expect more of this type of avalanche activity as we move into the latter part of this weekend with the new load. We've got another more potent storm arriving on Monday and into Tuesday. So you can expect yet another uptick in avalanche danger at the beginning of next week, which may see enough snow and wind to produce avalanche warnings and potentially high danger in some areas. So it's a pretty dynamic period we're going into right now. We are in dangerous avalanche conditions as we move into the weekend. May only get worse as we move into the early part of next week. So conditions are going to vary a lot depending on how much snow each particular place gets. So please check your local avalanche forecast at colorado.gov/avalanche or on the CAIC mobile app. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week.